Why?
Oh, my God. He's such a turd.
What happened?
He's such a douchebag. It's unbelievable. And I love Sal, but boy, oh, boy. It's just every step of the way. Every time I try to love him, I can't. So, you know, Beth and I had that fight. And, you know, well, yeah.
Did
Sal
he do something?
Sal put in his 2 cents here?
Well, wait.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you the whole thing. You'll love this. So,
Are you kidding? He got involved?
So Beth and I had the fight. Beth didn't hear the radio show yesterday.
Right.
And, you know, so...
Oh, no.
So anyway...
Like, you can't wait. What did he do?
So I was out all day. I had stuff to do, and I didn't get home till about 5:30.
Right.
Because we had a screening of Star Trek, which I'll talk about later in the show. And, you know, I don't want to get sidetracked with what I thought of the movie.
Right.
Suffice to say, there's a 5-star review in the paper today, and I don't even think that's enough stars. And
I know. They ran out of stars. This movie's
it's like the greatest movie I ever saw.
Oh,
It's the greatest sci-fi movie for sure.
It
Really?
is, yeah.
It is so good.
I'm glad, because JJ's a good guy.
If I could have last night strangled Sal, I would have, but he was nowhere near me. I just went, he's such a
Sal
fucking
couldn't
shit.
enjoy the Star Trek review.
He's such a fucking shithead.
What happened?
It's like he's an incredible shithead. He's dumb and he's a shithead, but he makes those great phony
Every
phone
time
calls.
you think he's finally righted himself and sort of figured out things, he shows you that he really hasn't.
Well, what is one of the qualities you need? First of all, to make
he's
those phony phone calls, you need to be funny. Sal's funny. But you also need to be a little off, man, because you gotta be a pain in the ass jackass. That
but he
stop.
knew even like Auschwitz teeth would be funny. Like,
I know, yeah, he's a funny guy.
There's some intelligence behind those
He knows
calls.
something.
Yeah,
I understand.
Anyway, so I had a long day, and it was kind of weird because, you know, Beth and I really did have our first fight, and it was so weird as the day went on. Like, Beth, you know, had written me a note, and then after the show, I wrote her back a note saying, you know, I said, this is just, she had apologized to me. She said, you know, I'm never going to ever let my, you know, my limited knowledge of computers ever get in the way of our relationship. She goes, I just got frustrated and I'm writing this book and I just got frustrated. So, you know me, like during the show, I was like, I want to tell her what she did wrong and blah, 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 and rub it in. And afterwards, I just wrote her and I said, you know, I feel awful too. I had a terrible night. I couldn't sleep and I didn't tell her I jerked off, but, you know, and
No need.
I said I couldn't sleep.
Sal did that.
Yeah. And I feel really sad that, you know, we had our first fight. And so, and then during the day, we were writing each other's other notes. She goes, I'm not going to go to Star Trek. I have some stuff to do. She wants some fun. Look at this lamp she wanted to buy for the apartment. And I said, okay, you know, she goes, unless you want a divorce. And I said, no.
God.
You know, we were having jokes and everything was back to normal and everything was fine. And then I came home and I saw her and...
Isn't it great in a relationship when, unless you want a divorce, it's still a joke?
Right. Yeah.
That's a good time.
Yeah. So, you know, and then we kissed hello and all that stuff. And I wrote JJ a note about Star Trek as soon as I got home. And then Beth and I grabbed some dinner. So we're at dinner, and it's really lovey-dovey. It's like, oh, it was so silly. I said, you know, all I wanted to do, honey, is help you. And I said, I look at disappointment in your eyes. And she says, enough already. We don't have to talk about this, blah, 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 blah. So we're sitting at dinner, and she has her phone there because she was waiting for, this is again with the book, she had a message she was waiting for in a text message. Well, all of a sudden she goes, oh, I just got an email from Sal.
Oh, no.
I go, what? So all of a sudden he goes, so here's his email. I said, you
like in the evening, it pops into her.
while we're eating.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is late in the day.
Everything's been great.
Everything's great. We decided not to talk about the fight.
God.
Everything is calm now. It's like it's over.
How could he
She hadn't
be
heard.
this dumb?
She hadn't heard anything on the radio. Nothing
Right,
ticked her
right.
off. It was fine. Everything was just great. And we were sitting there and having, you know, talking about our day and talking about things that we needed to talk about. So then Sal's email comes in and she goes, oh, did you discuss this on the air? I go, what are you talking about? He goes, Beth, sorry to hear about the save option. He's talking about, remember
yeah, right.
Yeah, the whole argument was about that I went to save her document, the Microsoft Word document.
Yeah.
I hit save,
Right.
and then, you know, it didn't save.
Right.
And she blamed me. Beth, sorry to hear about the save option. One time I was editing a movie for my son's birthday, and the same thing happened to me. I'll give you some advice that has worked well. Put a Post-it note that says click save and stick it on the corner of your monitor as soon as you sit down for your projects. Not only will it help others, but it serves as a great reminder to yourself to click it for your work, too. Good luck, Sal. So now my fucking head is steaming hot because I go, first of all, she goes, what did you say about this on the radio?
So in other words, in her mind, one of two things has happened. You've either talked about it on the radio or discussed it privately with Sal.
No.
The latter's not
it was
an
obvious,
option.
Yeah, she knows the latter's not an option. And then I'm sitting there going, she starts to get angry because, and I start to get angry because she didn't hit the save. Forget her hitting the save. I hit the save. So he's basically saying I did something wrong. I forgot to hit the save button. Now I said to her, isn't this fucking ridiculous? This fucking moron
who knows nothing
about what happened, didn't even listen to what I said on the radio properly. I hit save 900 times. The save didn't work. The save function didn't work. Now Beth's getting heated up.
Oh, no.
I'm getting heated up. I go, that fucking jackass doesn't even listen to what the fucking argument's about. He's basically saying I didn't hit save.
Right. Nobody hit save.
Yeah. Why? Can you leave my wife alone? Can you leave my life alone? Can you just stay out of it, you fucking idiot?
No
and then
one
you brought
else.
it up.
No one else did this.
Why do you have to write her?
Not one person.
And I didn't tell her I discussed it on the air. I didn't want to get into it.
I was just trying to be nice. That's all.
Yeah, but Sal, I told you we hit save. That wasn't the problem. You can send a post-it note to your.
Well, Howard, if you click, hold on, Robin. I'm sorry,
Sal. Both my wife and I watched each other hit save. It was because it was embedded in a Lotus Note that it didn't save.
Okay,
but retard. Here's what we were talking about now, all over again because of your email.
But it was with good intentions.
If you want to do good intentions, give me.
Okay, I'll give you the advice. But you don't talk to me. She does.
And then write me a note, because I'll just take it and delete it.
Wait a minute. Howard, you're missing something.
You won't save it?
No.
You're missing something completely. Sal's life is a wreck.
Right.
He doesn't have time to deal with anyone else's life.
Well, then Beth got heat up. She goes, not to say anything, but isn't it great how Sal wants to help me out after he was the guy in some comedy club fucking calling me names and calling me an asshole?
It's called moving on, and we're getting along great. And she's been great to me as well. She's
do me a favor. Don't help her. Please.
All right.
It's just amazing out of all the people in the world who you want to help. You want to help her.
I want to help both of you.
Do me a favor. I got it under control. That was the point. Your message was retarded because in light of what we said, it wasn't that we forgot to hit save.
Right.
Save wouldn't work when it was embedded in a Lotus Note.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I hadn't either. That's why I thought I saved it.
Right.
But the whole point was I came into the room and hit save like 20 times before I closed it.
But you have to admit it.
Stop! Don't write my wife.
I'm not.
Stop it.
I'm telling you something else. You have to admit that.
Yeah, but your note is exactly what I'm talking about. It misses the fucking argument. We hit save. It wasn't a question of hitting save. We hit save 50 times.
I got it.
It wouldn't save. I know you've never heard of it because you're a fucking genius. You fucking cocksucker. Stay out of it.
But why are you involved in their lives anyway? No one else here thought to write them a note.
No one else here cared enough.
Business.
All I know is
it's none of your business.
First of all,
no one else here cared.
Doug Hurwitz wrote a note. John Hine wrote a note. Guess who they sent it to? Shithead. Guess who?
You.
Right. Not Beth. They send it to me.
Well,
that's who you're dealing with. That's
what
who
I did
you
was,
deal with.
They don't care about Beth.
I deleted the message because, we didn't want to go back and find the document. She had redone all the work.
Well, I won't write her anymore.
All right,
and I'm sorry.
Thanks. You know what? Guess what? Guess who doesn't write your wife? Guess who? Guess who am I thinking of that doesn't write your wife? Right. You know why?
Why?
It's none of my fucking business. Stay out of my business. I don't want you in my life.
Okay, I'm not.
I'll
really
work with you,
life.
but I don't want you in my life.
I just did.
I'm sitting at dinner. I got the whole thing done, and then your email comes in.
Hey, you got to admit though, it's your show. You did bring it up. 20 million people.
I brought it up, and you didn't even listen. That's what's even more insulting.
Because I'm busy doing.
It wasn't
things
about hitting the save button, shit stain.
That's what originally caused the whole argument.
Sal,
I know. I get it completely, and I won't
you're
write
so brilliant. You put a post-it on your computer. You're such a genius.
I'm not.
She hit save 50 fucking times, and so did I. Well, wasn't a problem with that. Well, don't forget to hit save. We hit save.
You know what reminds people to save stuff? The word save.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I said. Put the word save.
Yeah, but the word save is on the computer.
But Sal, the issue wasn't whether we forgot to hit save. We hit save. We hit it 50 times. We were so paranoid about closing the document.
I'm with you,
And guess what? I'm eating dinner. I'm past it, and your email comes zooming in, man.
And it was just a nice gesture.
Yeah, and you want to know something? It wasn't. Number one, send it to me.
I
Don't
will.
write my wife. You don't have a relationship with my wife. My wife thinks you're insane. She wouldn't be around you unless I give her permission to, because she says to me, tell me, is it okay to go near Sal? Is he fucking insane? I go, he is fucking insane, but you can do this.
Thank you.
I know about this, and there'll be plenty of people around. You're like a caged fucking monkey.
Well, I wouldn't go
who
that
I would
far.
keep in the cage and throw some peanuts to. Stay out of it, man.
All right, man. I just
Stop
felt bad.
writing.
You had to, you know,
if you would listen to what I said,
bad.
it had nothing to. Your advice had nothing to do with what we were arguing about.
You're
or
just
what
trying to
happened.
insinuate yourself in his life. That's exactly what you're trying
Would
to do.
you do me a
you
favor?
Don't give a fuck.
Would you go
this
over
is
to-
coming from somebody who took advantage of an $800 bottle of wine. What advice have you given them to save their fucking marriage?
Hey,
to take
why
that
would
bottle
you
and bash it
know
over
about-
your head.
Why would you know about saving a marriage, you asshole?
Their marriage is
Sal.
in trouble, Sal.
Sal.
What would you know
Believe
about
me, it's the
that?
first sign.
No,
It's the
Sal,
first
they're not in
sign of
trouble.
many.
Sal, put a post-it.
my God.
Sal, put a post-it note on your computer that says the word asshole on it, and that'll remind you every time if you think you're not an asshole that you're an asshole.
Sal, if
I'm
you
gonna send that to your
That's
wife.
great.
Sal, if you had called me last night and told me you sent that email, I would have said, okay, this is what you have to do right now. You have to send Benji an email begging him to be late tomorrow.
Right.
But anyway, no, Sal, seriously. Can
Of
you,
course,
can you not
absolutely.
no, please just don't send her any email.
Not one.
If you want her to do show
Goes
in the
through you.
hallway,
Goes through
send
you.
it to me,
Everything through you.
or have Doug Goodstein do it, okay?
Okay, not a problem.
All right.
Show in the hallway.
Write a post-it note on your computer that says, save my marriage. I mean, this thing comes
He's
in.
going to help you out.
Oh, my God. It was like...
What guy?
And then I go to Beth, I go, that fucking jackass is writing you a note how you should put a post-it that says save. And I said, and I saved it. She goes, I know you did. I saw you do it. I said, and now he's giving you advice that has nothing to do with even what I said. It was crazy. I was going berserk. I said, I got Sal.
What human being doesn't know the line between, this is a show, and that's a real marriage.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
and you
well, I
don't
know,
mess
yeah.
with it.
It's a very creepy metrosexual thing to do. Like, what guy writes a note to a woman saying,
it's not a metro.
It's Sal.
It's a Sal.
It's Sal
thing.
trying- it's Sal trying to get
be
in.
I don't want to
part of
insult
everything.
metrosexuals, Robin. You're right.
Sal still wants to get tight with Beth.
Right.
And he
I
somehow
know, that's
thinks
what I'm saying. It's
gonna
it's crazy.
It's going to lead to him
How it-
hanging out with us in the apartment
Right.
watching TV
She's
with
got to
everybody.
change her email. That's
Yeah.
and he can't have it. That's the only way he's never going to send her email.
No,
again.
if he sends her another email, I'm getting rid of him.
All right. Well,
That's
Sal,
it.
remember that, man.
If Benji's late, I'm throwing him out of the studio, and Sal's off the show. I mean, it's insane. He's so annoying, and he's so helpful.
And this is late in the evening, so he's been thinking about this
Yeah.
all day, how to get himself involved.
A helpful tip would be to write a save note.
Hello, Beth.
Hi, Beth. One of my ideas. Gee, there's
Here's
an
what
original
I
thought.
Hey, Beth, guess who?
It's Sal.
It's Mr. Fix-It.
You know what? I mean, in some weird way, Sal wants to be the emotional friend to Beth. That is what-
Absolutely.
I know you're fighting, but let me be the common sense.
I'm the shoulder, the strong shoulder for you to cry
Here's a
on.
strong shoulder for you, Sal, and I'm going to take it because my fist is attached to it. I'm going to put it down your throat.
Beth, here's another reminder. Put up a post-it that says, save my marriage.
Right.
Because it's in trouble.
He's going to help you out. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
He's going to help you.
So you're just trying to be a nice guy and help out?
It was just a simple piece of advice. It was so simple. They got into an argument. It was over a save option or whatever. I said, hey, because I've been through that. And I said, you know what? You put save there. When you're working on a project, you put save. And that's it. And that turns into it's my fault.
Now,
Well,
why can't Howard see that you were just trying to be nice?
Because Howard's a miserable guy, and he has to find his whipping boy for the day to take all his anger and aggression out on, and it's me. It's the nice guy who cared enough to write them a letter and say, hey, here's an option. That's all it was. It was a sweet little gesture. That's it.
And
It wasn't malicious. It was a nice little tip. Tip of the day by Sal Governale.
Gary got me all worked up again during the commercials about Sal.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He goes, isn't it interesting that Sal only emails Beth like... He said, first of all, Sal said something when you were yelling at him this morning that went right over your head. I said, what did he say? He said, well, you won't answer my email, so maybe Beth will.
Right.
And then, which just shows you. And then,
Absolutely. It's all about getting involved.
And then, yeah. And then Gary said to me during the commercial, because it's really interesting, he doesn't email anybody else's wife on the show. He doesn't email Mary.
No.
And even Jason said, like, Sal's on this one's Facebook and that one's Facebook. He doesn't talk to any of the wives.
Right.
He's on all their Facebook. Only Beth. He's focused on
this
her.
has nothing to do with anything but getting closer to you.
Yeah. And then, of course, he wrote that ridiculous email last night, which I won't go into again, but it was just fucking absurd.
It's so obvious what he's up to.
And he could care less.
There's no goodwill there.
No.
He's just wanting to be in your life.
He's such a suck-up. And then, of course, he has to send an email about what Beth and I were fighting about, so I can start the whole conversation over again.
God,
But
who
we've
does
talked
that?
about how inappropriate his friends are in his life.
Right.
He would like to be that for you, an inappropriate friend.
Yeah. Well, I just as soon fire him, so I don't have to have him anywhere near me.
He'd like to be your Achilles heel.
Sal, why do you write my wife? You don't write any other women who are married to any guys on this show. I really don't get what he's up to. I want to know what his fantasy is. What's the fantasy? Why do you write my wife? You don't write any other wives. You don't write anybody's girlfriend.
I don't know anybody else's wife.
Yes, you do.
I know.
You went to
could know
Jason's
them.
wife's You went to Jason's wife's wedding.
I've
No, you haven't.
emailed Jason's mom.
Howard, you spent a week in Europe with my wife.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah. How come you never
You
write
don't
her?
write her.
I don't
Give her
have her
advice.
email address.
Yeah, okay.
I did send her an email. I sent her a picture of her and myself together at Jason's wedding.
Right.
I
I'm sure
email
she'll
your
love
wife.
that.
I email
Leave
your wife.
my
because-
wife alone.
I
She's
am
not
gonna-
interested in you. We get the emails from you.
That's
we
in
laugh
your
at them.
head, not
we
hers.
laugh at them. Do you notice all of her answers are one word? Great, nice, thank you.
That's because you're next to her.
No.
She just wants to pacify.
She wants nothing to do with you.
pacify. Okay, let me say thanks to Sal.
Do me
so
a
Howard doesn't
favor,
know.
honestly.
I'm going to leave her alone. I said it. I
Thank
know.
you.
I know you're paranoid. You're a lunatic.
You're so not paranoid. It says you said. Well, you won't talk to me. Maybe she will.
No, that's crazy.
You said that today.
Well, yeah, that's true. You don't reply to emails. You don't
Right,
reply. You're very
right.
rude that way. It
No,
bothers a lot of people.
I reply to emails that are
you're
about
interested-
work.
Right.
That's
But-
strictly for work, my email. I told you that.
Yeah,
I
and-
don't want to have a personal dialogue with you on my email.
That's fine.
I said, you want to write about work? I'll talk to you all day. And I do. I answer every one of your emails.
That's true on that case. But
Yeah.
Beth was kind enough to do a couple of things. We're moving on.
No,
and
she was kind enough to do it because I said, it's for show in the hallway. It's for the TV channel.
Right,
Please
thank you.
do it. And she did it for me.
Yes.
Not for you.
okay.
For me.
I just did a little. It was a little helpful thing. I just gave her an option.
So your idea that if you can talk to her, you'll somehow get through to me on a personal level is
don't-
absurd.
You're thinking that. I don't
No,
think that
you
at all.
said it this morning. I never thought of it till today
I'm
because you
thinking-
put the thought in my head.
Well,
You
I'm-
said, quote,
Both of you, yes.
you won't answer me, so maybe she will.
That's true. You wouldn't. You probably
So you're
wouldn't
using
answer.
her to get to me.
Well, I kind of felt bad for her. You were the one flipping out yesterday, and she didn't
You
have
felt
her.
bad for her. Okay.
And
Listen,
I'm stop-
She's
and
doing
you-
just fine.
Okay, I know
You don't
she
have
is.
to feel bad for my wife.
God bless her.
All
She's doing
right,
great.
good.
All right.
Point is, you don't even like her. You said
No,
shitty things about her.
that's in the past.
And
For
now
you
you're
to
busy
regurgitate
emailing
that
her.
is wrong.
She regurgitated it. She goes, it is interesting that Sal writes me, chooses me, when he's saying shitty things about me.
Have we all not had our differences and moved on?
Okay,
Yes, and I'm doing
thank
that in my
you.
life too.
Good.
And I'm not emailing her anymore as a courtesy.
You know
to
what? First get your wife
Never.
to talk to you, and then talk to my wife.
That's another story. Don't
Okay.
worry about that. I prefer she doesn't talk to me.
Right.
It's much
well,
better.
I prefer my wife doesn't talk to you either.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Well, me and wives don't mix. Let's just leave it at that.
Good.
The only way Sal's never going to email Beth again is if Benji marries Beth.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người, và hôm nay bên em lại về một chiếc xe Hyundai Accent, xe sản xuất 2021, bản 1.4 số tự động, xe phiên bản màu đỏ. Xe này là xe tiêu chuẩn, không phải là xe bản đặc biệt, vì vậy là không có cửa lóc mọi người nhé. Và em sẽ quay tổng thể chiếc xe này cho mọi người cùng xem, bên em mới về thôi. Con xe này thì giá rẻ ra thị trường vài chục triệu, bởi vì nó cũng bị vào quẹt một chút. Đấy.
Bye.